$125 off the final payment. So for everyone that signed up already, and for anyone who signs up, you're going to get that savings, right? I'm curious what we're going to get now. Okay. Our next trip is the Danube Delights River Cruise. This one features 2 nights in the city of Spires, Prague. So we've got Vienna, Budapest, and Prague all in one trip. Fantastic. Let's see what happens. Hey, we're cooking once again. This trip is going to fly to Budapest. Once we get to Budapest, we're going to get up the river, Bratislava, Vienna, Thursday. Every time you see a white dot, you know that that's an included excursion. Now, on this trip, you might have some additional optional tours called Discover More. If it's Discover More, they're extra. We'll get you a price list, when they are, how long they are, what they do. You can choose if you want to do them before you go. If you're on the tour, you decide, oh, maybe I do want to do that. If there's space, we'll put you on. But just be aware, on this one, at my last count, there was 5 optional excursions on this tour. But every day you see a white dot, you know the city tour is included. Every day. So 7 nights Bernstein, all the way to Pestel, Regensburg. We're going to get off the ship and motor coach up for 2 nights up in Prague. So again, 11 days, 22 meals, fantastic trip. Let's start in Budapest. And if you say Budapest, they know you're a tourist. So put the Budapest, S-C-H-T, Budapest, and then they'll think you heard from somebody. That's our beautiful ship right in front of the Parliament building there in Budapest. One of the most iconic sites. If you take all the European river cruises, they have one thing. The top rated event of all of them is a evening river cruise on the Danube. Because at night they light these up. These monuments are lit up. So I'm sorry, a few of you might not get a full night's sleep that first night because the boat actually leaves our port of call, goes down and goes up and down this river, and all these monuments are lit. You think it's, a couple buildings? No, it's like 2 miles. These incredible buildings lit up. The number 1 attraction on all river cruises is Danube by night, Budapest by night. Number 1. That's how we're going to start you out. So from the airport, we're going to take you right to the ship. 3 different levels of cabins. We've got the lower deck, Riviera, Biscuit deck up to the rise, and of course the sun deck on top. So I hope you plan to spend plenty of time on. Because the sun deck is that fun area. Here's where you meet your friends. You have a cocktail. By the way, people look at that. We'll go to Europe. Is there any smoking on the ship? Only one spot, way in the back corner, where the staff would smoke. Sometimes you wonder, I'm going to Europe, is it going to be a smoking dining room? Is it going to be a smoking rooms? No. No smoking on this ship, except the back corner, and that's where the staff smoke. Most of them don't speak the, well, they'll speak the language, but some don't choose to. Okay. Great place to hang out. So while you're up there, there's a 3-hole putting course. You get up early in the morning, you can hit 9 holes before breakfast. That's a joke. It's as good as they get, guys. Because I'm going to tell you, it's 3 holes, and it always breaks to the water. True story. True story. Tic-tac-toe, big chess pieces. We'll have some events even out here on gorgeous nights. They'll even have a barbecue on the top deck. So it just turns out to be a great social area. Boy, when they put that barbecue out, we have a nice walking tour. I never know where they're going to hold you. But we're having a nice walk, we're heading back all of a sudden. Man, that smells good. Barbecued brats, chicken, ribs on the grills on top of the ship. Fantastic day. The back of the pool, the back of the ship has a swimming pool. It's an activity pool. Who went swimming? Anybody? There's a big jet on the back of that thing. You hit the button, the jet blows. You can swim against the current. It's better than any water aerobics there is. but you can swim against current. Or I challenge you, grab the end, start the thing, see if you can keep your swimming suit on. It's kind of fun. At night, we raise the floor, darken the curtains, becomes a theater at night. You're a little tired? Go to your room. Flip the channel over to the pool camera and you can watch the movie in your room. But the beauty of this room, they also make popcorn. If you're on deck 3, when people start nodding here, you always smell the popcorn at night. And who can go to bed without popcorn? If you can smell it, you gotta have it. So we have movies on the ship. A couple nice sitting areas. One's right in the front. They got glass partitions. I can sit in the front of the ship and the wind doesn't get me. On the top deck, you know, you have the moving wind. But here, out of the wind, another place to have a nice lunch. You got a nice place to relax. Bartenders are fantastic. Usually get to know your names. Well, some of them are not our names. Probably some of you have a bad habit. I wasn't pointing at me, I'm just saying. There's a wellness center on board. You want a massage. Hot stone treatment. There's a workout room. I don't know why. I sweat every time I walk by it. But you can pick up fresh fruit there. So a great place to grab some fruit. Need an orange? Grab one, take it to your room. More and more, they keep adding special treats here and there. They like the little dinner buffet, the midnight buffet type stuff. So about 10:30, all of a sudden, here they come out with treats up at the bar. So we're always looking. You will not go hungry on this. The Reflections restaurant seats everybody at once. And how was that service? You guys remember the service? It includes free beer and free wine with lunches and dinners. If you like to sit down, they bring you a menu, 5 courses. You pick your starter, your soup, salad, main course, dessert, and they suggest a wine. Otherwise, you can have them bring you red or white wine. And they keep bringing it, don't they? Keep your glass empty, they'll keep coming. That's kind of a goal. They're challengers. Anyway, food is fantastic. Again, you don't have to believe a word I said. You saw many people raise their hand on the right. The food's the service. It's an English-speaking group. So we have Canadians, Australians, some Brits. You know, they do speak English. It's the Queen's English. And Americans. So everybody on the ship speaks English. You don't have to listen to things in 4 different languages. It's a big deal compared to other ships. We have an activity director on the ship. So everybody has a cruise director. We also have an activities director. You want to take a guided hike? You want to take a guided bike ride? I got an activities director. Hey, how about if we did some trivia this afternoon? What if we did some karaoke? They're always looking for, hey, what do you guys want to do? And they'll start it up. Activity director. Maybe morning yoga's for you. I don't know why, but maybe it is. You do what you want. All the ships are now equipped with e-bikes. Who doesn't love to ride a bike when you know you can guarantee to get home, push the button? You're going to get home. It's an e-bike. I've ridden a bike in years. You might have to try it. They give you a helmet and a bike. And a map. Here's tickets. 3 different levels. Lower level has a window. There's no inside cabins on a river ship. 14 by maybe 48. It's not operable. I've had this cabin a couple times myself. It's about here. That window's about here on me. So if you're shorter, you might have to get your roommate on all 4s so you can look out the window. The water's about here. I mean, you're dry, but you know, I had ducks go by my window one time. It's kind of cool. Anyway, lower level Riviera deck, 162 square feet. Most people like the floor to ceiling windows. So the whole vista, the whole horizon deck, all have floor to ceiling windows like you see there. Plus, mentioned our owner before, he designs the ships. So he made these power windows. So instead of having these little chintzy little patio doors where you just kind of stick your head out in the fresh air, The whole window goes down with a push of a button. It's power windows. Now your whole cabin becomes a balcony cabin. So I have people ask me all the time, I want that cabin with a patio. I want to sit outside of the patio. Well, look at the floor. See that wood? That's your patio. It's in the cabin. Don't be asking Alicia for a patio. That's your patio right there. See 2 chairs? See? 2 chairs on the patio. Don't ask for the outdoor patio. That's it. Your whole cabin becomes a balcony cabin. Top deck also has a few. There's only 8 grand balcony suites. Go from 180 to 215 square feet. And then there's 4 owner suites, 305 square feet. They have 2 windows, a glass partition, and they're just, of course, bigger because it's 2 cabin width owner suites. They have a couple other specialties as well. Every cabin has a refrigerator, the cash bar. You take the beer out, you're going to pay for your beer. Take a can, those $8 can of nuts, they'll bill you at the end, right? In the owner suite, it's just a bar. Eat all the peanuts you want because it's included in the owner suite. Just be aware. That's the place you want to party. Just kidding. You did not hear that from me. Everybody gets a hearing device, whispers, headsets. If you can see the guy, you can hear him. How huge is that? Plus, we break down small groups, 18, 20 people. The local guy takes you through a little village. As long as I can see the guy, I can hear the story. You don't have to bunch up so you can hear. Us Americans, we like our space. If I can see it, her, him, I can hear the story. How huge is that? It's huge. Makes the experience better. So welcome to Budapest. Budapest connects to Danube, is connected by 7 unique bridges. Each one, it's like they had a design contest. And each person designed it their own way. So the main river, main bridge from the old to the new town, is one that we're always going to be around. You'll see the ships park on the edges. See how the river boats park on the edge. Budapest is also known, there's a Buda side and a Pest side. To this day, Pest is called New Town. It's the new city. That was 600 years ago. They started Pest. And now it's called New Town. It's 600 years old. It's older than the U.S. Double. It's New Town. And they still call it that. I think that's great. So this is the chain bridge. About 3 years ago, fully renovated. You couldn't cross. What a nuisance. It's open again. Life's good. 7 different styles of bridge. One was a gentleman, I think his name was Eiffel. You probably heard something else he made. It looks just like the Eiffel Tower. It's Lincoln Logs, Eiffel Tower, in a bridge. 7 bridges connect the 2 sides. That's the Pest side. See how flat it is? Flat. Our welcome first night, we're going to have a Hungarian folklore show. They come in costume. Whenever you see the word Emerald Plus, you know it's included if you choose to join. So here's an extra if you're still up. It's after dinner. This is a little past the Wheel of Fortune, guys. It gets a little later. But dinner's at 7 o'clock every night. We have entertainment, 8:30, 9 o'clock, someplace in there. You're coming on board. Then we take our city tour. The next morning we get up, have a nice breakfast. We have an egg chef with breakfast. You want an omelet? You want easy over? You want some poached eggs? Whatever you choose, plus a full buffet. So you won't go hungry. The tour is going to show us that Parliament building, the Hero Square. It's a nice circle. Of course, you know what they call it, Hero Square. You figure that one out. Throw a Hero Circle. Anyway, Hero Circle is a square. That's the Archangel Gabriel on top, blessing all these victors. So every battle they won, the general that brought them through that battle has been honored, and the Archangel welcomes them home. I think it's a great story. Beautiful park, we'll see that. Some of the statues, we just don't decorate statues enough, do we? Fountains, statues, the main street of Budapest. There, they have a beautiful market area. And then we're going to cross over to the other side. So you can tell the difference real easy. Pest, Buda. Buda's got hills. Government building sits way up high. Again, illuminated. This whole stretch is illuminated all the way to the Parliament building. Under the chain bridge, this is our castle district. Castle district, when you get on top, is the fisherman's bastion. It's where the fishermen would trade duties, keeping watch. Because you'll see from this spot right here, the river comes straight at you and then it turns past Budapest. So they had a great vantage point. They could see enemies coming up the river. They took turns watching. They called it the fisherman's lookout, the fisherman's bastion. Up here is an incredible church. Saint. One of the saints came, Catholicized it, put his cathedral up there. I had it. Nope. And his horse statue still stands in front of that. But the views from up here, there's a statue of him. That guy, the green horse. Yeah, I can't see it. See? Okay. So the views through here, you get some great pictures of all of Pest and, of course, the river down below us here. For you active people, Emerald Act, we find every year we have more people getting younger every year. No, they're getting more active every year. Age is just a number, right? It's just the number of times you go around. It's never the years, it's always the miles, is what I say. But if you'd like to take a hike up, we have a guided hike. Would you like to do city tour, or would you rather do the hike? You're going to get different stories. That's all right. Sometimes couples will split up. One takes the city tour, other takes the hike. Up to Gallard Hill, beautiful monument up high there. That's where Emerald Actives come in. So we have Emerald Plus, Emerald Active. Actives will be bike rides, hikes, that type of thing. Emerald Plus, a lot easier. You're going to find a great one here in Bratislava. This is Europe's newest capital. This used to be the Czechoslovakia. Now it's the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Their headquarters, their new capital is Bratislava. Centerpiece certainly being their castle. Can you see that Emerald Active coming a hike to the castle? You see it coming in? It's coming. Got that beautiful downtown, old town, the city tours, that nice easy walk. People always ask me, it's a good spot to ask. Is there a lot of walking on this tour? It's Europe. Absolutely. Can I go with a walker? Can I go with a wheelchair? If you have a linebacker for a son-in-law who's going to push you maybe, but this is old town. This is cobblestones. This is hills. They don't have guardrails. There's not ramps in every church. Can I go with a walker? Absolutely. If it's for stability, sure. Just be aware, it's going to be tough some days. I just got to set the proper expectation because I don't want to disappoint somebody. But we also find out about the second, third day. Some of the tours are fast walkers. Some people are slow walkers. They might not get as far. Guess what? You get to see it. You got a personal guide who lives in Budapest, lives in Slovakia, lives in Bratislava. So I don't want to scare anybody out, but I also make you realistic. I say when I go to Europe, you want to walk a couple city blocks. If you can walk around 2 city blocks, what's that, 6 blocks? 1, 4, 6 blocks. You're going to love this trip. If that's difficult, that might be a day you don't take the walking tour. You get so far, you stop, say, I'm going to head back to the ship. Turn off your headset and walk to the ship. The bright spot of our tours, they're always downhill to the boat. It's always downhill to the boat. That's where the river's at. I know, they don't get any better. They don't get any better. So we got a tour. You see these places close up. You get the stories. You know, different government buildings, summer palaces, national theaters. And there it is. Maybe you, instead of the tour, you'd rather have the guided hike up to that beautiful castle. So lots of ways to see it. Now here's an Emerald Plus. I want you all to sign up for it. They can only take so many, but they're doing a home-hosted lunch. We're going to somebody's house. 6, 8, 10 people. sit around their table. They're going to give us coffee, trumpets, some of their specialties. You can ask questions, translators, they speak English, whatever. People rate this as one of the top experiences being there. Why do you travel? Meet people, right? See cultures, hear their music, taste their food. How about in someone's house? One of the highest rated things in the whole tour. On to Vienna. Now Vienna, I have to tell you, this is kind of good as it gets. If you think of Vienna, you got 100 different names. It's now over 2.9 million metro area. The river goes through it, and they're so busy they built a Ringstrasse. They built a canal to take it even closer into the city. Because their boat traffic is too small for our big boats. Our boats are 443 feet long. Can't make the corners. So the smaller boats go into the Ringstrasse. But they've got so many nicknames to this. My favorite is still the city of music. Brahms, Beethoven, Bach, Strauss, all spent time here. So it's a city of music. That's my favorite one. There's a city of dreams. Sigmund Freud spent time here. The final resting place for Johann Strauss in a commoner's grave. You know, some of these people weren't even well known when they were alive. The music got great after they passed. So on this Ringstrasse, Vienna, is the city hall. That's the start of the Main Street. Beauty of Main Street here, I've never heard of this before. The whole downtown is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So I just Googled, hey, how many blocks are in the UNESCO World Heritage Vienna? It's good. It's not a link, it's 1,600 buildings. They're one of a kind. They protect them all. You can't change the shutters. Now UNESCO approving it. United Nations Educational, Cultural, Scientific, Cultural Center says, our organization says, this is perfect the way it is. It's the only one in the world, you can't do anything to it. So they just keep it up like it is. So we walk this from the city hall, this main Strasse, and it's just incredible statues. The black plague statue, one of those I'll never forget. The other end is St. Stephen's Cathedral. I had to throw some of these pipe organs in because we're going to the city of music. 8,000 pipes in a pipe organ. If you're really lucky, you get into some of these churches, somebody's practicing organ. You gotta be lucky. They don't plan them as much as they come and practice. But incredible building to start with. But then you know you're at the end of the street and you can turn around and get back to City Hall. But it's several blocks long, absolutely gorgeous. By the way, under here, the catacombs, they have those open graves where it's all bones. Sounds gory, it's pretty cool. Sorry, but it's pretty cool. It used to be €2, €2, $2. Walking through these catacombs. It's absolutely incredible. If you find or make the time. Hofsburg, of course, the big reunion of the Aussies. Hofsburg, where the money, their summer palace. They had some pretty nice digs. But I think what's cool here is it's where they train the Lipizzato horses, those white high-stepping Lipizzanos. So our guy's like, oh, hey, let's hurry this way. And the horses paraded by us from the stables out to the practice grounds and just watch them go through there. Unbelievable. That's all they know is the high step. So they're not even practicing, they're just walking. They lift us so high, it's so majestic. It's just amazing to see. Different museums, you can say that one any way you want. You gotta say it quick enough, nobody knows. But they're just massive. Not a museum guy. Maybe you want to take a bike ride. Once again, borrow the bikes, do your own thing. But during Emerald Active, usually all the bikes get used up. And we follow a guide and we know where we're going. So these bike rides, I invite you guys to take the bike ride. Now with the e-bikes, you push the button, you always get home. Don't even have to pedal. Now we're on this incredible day. We've been on the river for days, but it just kind of opens up the mountains both sides. We're in the Wachau Valley. This is where the Romans came and decided they tested. They came up from the North Sea, Black Sea. They just started checking the soil, planting things. They found that Dachau Valley was the closest to the original Italian soils. We've got vineyards over 2,000 years old. Vineyards. That makes the best base is the dirt, it's the soil. And these grounds are rich. You've got great castles on the side, not quite like the Rhine. Remember on the Rhine? Castle Day, every side was a castle. Not quite that way here, but still very impressive. We're in a little town of Dürnstein. Up above it is one of those decrepit castles. We went to Dürnstein, I loved it. We got off the boat, we're walking with a guide looking. We've got a bottle of wine for every vinter who's in town. So there's 20 bottles of wine, and we got to walk the main street. They're doing tastings on both sides. Man, we were losing people left and right. We're gonna stick on a tour of freaking. Have you ever heard of Black Forest cake? Did you guys try Black Forest cake in Germany? They make the Kirsch here. The blackberry brandy they put in the frosting of Black Forest cake. The cake's horrible. The frosting's amazing. They had that Kirsch there, and they were served in black or dark chocolate cups. So you drank the Kirsch and ate the cup. Come on. Who's going to listen to a tour if you have a chance to drink Kirsch in a dark chocolate cup? You lose them all. And yes, I brought a 12-pack home and they made it perfect. So Dürnstein, I love that town. Another beautiful town is most of these towns, they're going to take you to their centerpiece, their highlight. They're one of the most majestic buildings. And you might start getting that ABC syndrome. Oh no, another bloody cathedral. But if you've seen one, you ain't seen that one. They're all spectacular in their own way. They all got a story. But this castle that sits above Dürnstein, this castle, and we can take the Emerald Active. You saw it coming, didn't you? That's not the hike when the hike's coming. They actually held the king, Richard the Lionheart. He finished a war, was passing through, forgot his ID, left his wallet back in England. Didn't identify him. They put him in jail for over a year while they sent people back to England to get proof that he was the king. He sat in prison here for a year. Yeah, they paid for it. Don't worry. But we can take a hike up to that area. Another stop is Krems. When we get to Krems, it's the gateway up to this Gateway Abbey. There's some beautiful abbeys. Most of them still working today. So we've got that abbey on top of the hill. Imagine the views from there. We don't imagine we're going to be there. Just the beautiful, just opulence. The Catholic religion of that day would inherit these grounds and the riches, so much gold and the pictures, paintings, the frescoes, the carpets. They've got a little pipe organ there, but that was the old one, I believe. Absolutely incredible in these places, the vistas that you get, the pictures painted. They run out of walls to paint them, they paint the ceilings, right? If you got off at the last town, you can actually ride the bikes while the boat runs. You know, the boat averages, we're going up the stream. You know, these ships, they really book it. You know, going downstream, we can hit 16 miles per hour. Going upstream, it's about 13. You can ride right past your ship. So we had a nice group bike ride. They drop us off, you know, the bikes pedaling past your ship. I always think it's kind of cool. If that's what you choose, is discover more. On we go to Passau. Passau is where the two rivers connect. So now we're at the confluence of the Main River, Main, they call it both, and the Danube together, and that's Passau. And a great old bridge, but again, incredible town. Often a boat's parked right along the edge. In town you go, you'll see where before they had the lock systems, how high the water was on the buildings. There's marks on the building. We got off the ship, there's a Wiener Schnitzel stand. You know, we're in Germany, what are you gonna do? Just left Austria, we got to Germany now. Wiener Schnitzel, we had breakfast. We have lunch included, but you get off and press out, you gonna try some Wiener Schnitzel? Of course you are. So, great old town, great old city. Neat church here. And you're like, oh, here it comes, another bloody church, here we go. The designer for windows at the top, those oval windows at the top, didn't want a place for the devil to hide. You know, a lot of cathedrals, it's pretty dark, right? Rafters are dark. So you put windows in the top. No place for the devil to hide. I love that line. I don't even know if they made it up, but I like the line. 17,900 pipe organ. They ran out of space, so the organist has to climb a ladder to get to the organ center. Watches by short circuit TV what's going on. Plays all 17,000 pipes from one section. That one kind of caught me off guard. We went the opposite way, so it was one of our first days, and they opened that thing up, and you're like, what in the world? You don't know what you're looking at. 17. Was the world's largest pipe organ until they built the one on in Crystal Cathedral. 18,000 pipes, became second largest in the world. Why do we travel? See stuff that no one else is going to see. Very cool. And then we're up to Regensburg, and this is what you call the quintessence of Germany. It's got it all. It's got stories. Regensburg, the war crimes, Nazi headquarters. They were building the big outdoor grounds to march. Never got completed. Incredible city. Great way to end the tour. Not a lot of people's tours because this is when the water, if you go in the fall, the water can be too low. You can't ever get here. You got a motor coach there. So not a lot of itineraries. When you go in May, we know the water will be high. We can do it in May. You can't do it. I mean, you can try in August, but it's just the water, the rains are right. But again, just some phenomenal things to see. Regensburg, you won't forget. Great way to end the river cruise portion of this. Bring on a nice Oompa band, some men in Lederhosen, yeah, Alpine horns, let's go. Have a good time. Pull a few people into the audience. I'm picking you. You get to lead this one. We'll be even here soon. And then we're in a motor coach to one of my favorite cities in the world. And my other one was a town called Lucerne. You guys been to Lucerne? Remember that little bit you were in Lucerne? Prague, right up there. Spectacular city, easy walk, feel safe. Bridges connecting it, the St. Charles Bridge, pedestrian only, things like that. Phenomenal place. You gotta start with a nice property. We're at Gradium for 2 nights. Beautiful property. Looked it up. It's a little 10-minute walk to old downtown. Look at this lobby. What the heck? Absolutely sensational. The dining room, our breakfast nook, glass tiles, stunning property. Great place for our 2 nights. Like I say, about a 10-minute walk over to the old city center. Medieval Gothic structures. How many of those are left in the world? Built in the 1400s. We got four left. Most of them went away in the world wars, or they got conquered. Somebody knocked them down. This one has 4 of those built churches started in 1400s. We don't even know what history is when you start going to Europe. They've got a medieval clock. They've set in place in 1410. Anybody got a Timex that worked for 10 years in a row? 1410, still keeps perfect time. Yeah, they stop at some time, replace the gears, set it up. It's an astronomical clock. It's got the phases of the moon. It's got the zodiac. It's kind of got it all. There's some structures up here. We watch the dance. Where are they, guys? There's 2 on each side. They dance at a certain hour, or is there to watch them dance? It's the cuckoo clock at the top opens. They revolve outside. They're adult-sized figurines. Your cuckoo is a full-size people. It's amazing. Since 1410? Huh? Anything to walk on from 1410? You got a clock, a working. And then that's the Charles Bridge. That was kind of a boring picture. It's always so active, but there's 12 disciples. Each have their own statues. Christ in the center on the cross. There's people doing caricatures. There's little musicians, artists. It was just such an enjoyable place. Just an easy walk. On the other side, they had this Hungarian village in Prague. It was a wonderful place. Love the city of Prague. The city aspires over 200 spires. You get up to Rockety Castle, you can count, just look for spires. Over 200 spires, the city of spires. Absolutely phenomenal. Love that city. 11 days are up, we gotta go home. The worst part of every trip. Lower level 6,000. Main deck 7,064 per person. Go up 15 stairs, rising deck. Once the Vista deck sells out, which it always sells out first, the Vista deck, the main deck where you get on and off the ship, dining room, on and out entry, reception, and that main deck, Vista deck always sells out first. Which isn't a problem because once that's sold out, it's 15 steps up to the horizon, 7,300. Balcony suites, the owner suites, or you go down 15 steps. Third deck, horizon is where that pool was, in the back of the ship. So, gives you a little lay of the land. Trip is low. Even the gratuities, wine and beer, the meals on the ship, everybody you meet, all the gratuities are paid. Even if you buy an excursion, gratuities are. They don't like surprises. That's Alicia's. That's your way. Don't surprise me. One thing not included is going to be, of course, your valid passport and $569 optional insurance. We'll run a special to the end of the month. The other one was until next Wednesday. This one, the end of the month. $200 off your final payment. $200 off as a presentation savings I can offer you. So you take the 200 off, gets it under 7, gets it under 7, gets it under 5, 6, but $200 savings. Repeat travelers, some of you went on the Rhine, you got a coupon in there. Where can I use my coupon? You can take $150 off this trip. You can take $150 off the Canadian Rockies. When you go on this trip, you're going to get another $150 for your next trip. Again, stick with Alicia, she'll let you use those up. New friends, first time travel. Deposits $400 to save your spot. So if you think you want to go, know you want to go, $400 saves your seat. That's the big deal. Final payment's going to be 4 months before we fly. We're going in May, January 10, or whenever Alicia sends you a bill. Traveler's protection on this one is $569. It is a cancel for covered reasons. This one I do need a doctor's note. Doctor says I can't fly. Okay. Get the note, doctor's note. You get all your money back up to the day before departure. All your money back. This one is not the bad hair day. You can't cancel bad hair day. You need a doctor's note. Doctor says you can't fly. You get all your money back except the $569. Now, I talked a little more about you need a passport, of course. You need 6 months beyond the return. So check your passport. It sounds like forever. If we're going in May, it's got to be good through November, December of 27. Man, it used to be a long time away, but you check your passport. 10 years usually ends sometime. You need 6 months beyond your return. So it's going to be good at least through November of 27 to be an active passport. You'll earn another $150 going on a river cruise. You'll earn $100 if you do the Canadian Rockies. Glacier National Park, $100 coupon off your next trip. If you do both trips, of course you can take one, put it on the end, take it out. So,